Have you ever wondered why some seniors have more energy than all of us combined? Today, we are going to unravel the mystery of that enviable vitality that allows them to enjoy life to the fullest even in their grey and mature years. And it's not magic, it's habits. Get ready, because in this video we're going to reveal 11 things that 99% of people can't do, but that you can achieve if you start right now. The last point will surprise you. Before we get started, if you find value in these videos, subscribe and hit the bell to stay in the loop. Let's get started. Number 1. You have a sharp mind and you see people's tricks. Many people imagine they can spot a scam from miles away, as if they have superpowers. First, let's talk about why this is so important. In a world where fraud has become commonplace, having a sharp mind is like having a protective shield. Imagine if someone tried to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. With a sharp mind, not only would you not fall into the trap, but you would most likely end up selling the bridge to the scammer yourself. But how do you do it? Well, it's not magic, although it seems that way. It's about staying alert, curious, and always learning. Neuroscientist David Eagleman suggests that learning a new skill, such as a language or musical instrument, can help keep the brain young and flexible. Now let's talk about the tricks. Did you know that many unscrupulous companies use psychological tricks to deceive people? Emotional tricks, regular meetings, everything to gain your trust and then sell useless products. It's like being invited to a party only to try to sell you a vacuum cleaner. But with a sharp mind, you will be able to see through these tricks like glass. You'll distinguish a real offer from a scam faster than you can say, "No thanks. I already have enough vacuum cleaners." Psychologist Robert Cialdini, in his book Influence, talks about the principles of persuasion that scammers often use. Knowing them is like having a map of your opponent's terrain. For example, the principle of reciprocity. If someone gives you something, you feel the need to reciprocate, and scammers take advantage of that. But you, with your sharp mind, will be able to recognize this tactic and say, "Thanks, but no thanks," without feeling guilty. Keeping a sharp mind also means keeping up with technology. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Do I need to learn how to use TikTok at my age? Don't worry, you don't have to become a social media star, but understanding how new technologies work can help you spot online scams. Remember, the most important thing is to stay curious and never stop learning. Read books, solve puzzles, debate. Number 2. Your body is always in good shape. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live to 80 with the vitality of a young man? Well, get ready, because today we're going to reveal the best kept secrets of the healthiest grandparents on the planet. Imagine being able to play soccer with your grandchildren without shortness of breath, or cook a delicious dinner for the whole family with confident hands. Does it seem like a dream? But it isn't. The key is to keep your body in good shape. And we are not talking about having steel muscles or sitting on strict diets, but about reasonable and consistent care of your body. Did you know that famous actor Christopher Plummer continued to act until he was 90 years old? Or that the incredible Tao Porchon Lynch taught yoga until she was 101. These aren't isolated cases. They're examples of what's possible when you take care of your body, like a temple. But what does it mean to be fit at 70 or 80? It's not marathon running or lifting huge weights. The real victory is in the little things. Being able to dress yourself, cook your own meals, or even help your children with chores. Going to a competition with your grandchildren or teaching them how to salsa dance is where the real fun is. "Grandpa, you're amazing," they'll say, and you'll say with a mischievous smile, "I have a secret." Sure, staying in shape takes effort and dedication, but it's worth it. When you're healthy, you're not only doing a favor for yourself, but also for your loved ones. Think of it this way: would you rather your children visit you because they need to take care of you, or because they want to enjoy your company? The answer is obvious. A Harvard University study found that older adults who stay active and physically fit are 50% less likely to get dementia. It's as if your brain is telling you, "Hey, If you take care of yourself, I'll take care of you. But don't worry, you don't have to become an Olympic athlete overnight. Small changes can make a big difference. How about starting with a 10-minute walk every day? Or maybe try a Stoic class that has always appealed to you. It's important to find activities that you enjoy because, let's be honest, if you don't enjoy it, you won't last long. Did you know that regular dancing can reduce your risk of falls by 31%? So the next time your favorite song comes on, don't just stand still, dance and move your skeleton. Remember, my friend, that your body is like a classic car. With proper care, it can function perfectly for years to come. And the good news is that it's never too late to start. Whether you're 30 or 70, you can always take a step toward a healthier and more active life. So, what do you think about joining the grandparent revolution? Your future self will thank you. And who knows, maybe you'll end up being the star of the dance floor at the nursing home. Number 3. You have a hobby and life is never boring. Imagine this. You are 80 years old and your grandchildren ask you what you did today. Instead of saying you watch soap operas, you tell them about your latest art lesson or chess game. Seems impossible. It's all real if you have hobbies, activities that make you feel alive, challenge your mind and nourish your spirit. According to a Harvard University study, seniors who maintain active hobbies are 30% less likely to suffer from senile forgetfulness. But which hobbies are we talking about? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Imagine chess, which keeps your mind as sharp as a chef's knife. Or drawing, which not only stimulates creativity, but also helps you express your feelings. Who needs therapy when you have a canvas and brushes? And of course, don't forget about singing. Did you know that singing is not only good for your lungs, but also acts as a natural antidepressant with no side effects? Unless you count the way your neighbors look when you sing in the shower. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm retired now. Shouldn't I just relax? And I'll tell you what, actively relax. Retirement is not the end of the road, but the beginning of new adventures. Generative development in late life is the ability to grow and contribute instead of stagnating. A playful spirit is something that is often missing for many after retirement. People often lose interest in life, thinking it's time to be serious and reserved. But who says you can't be a cool guitar-playing grandpa? On the contrary, as George Bernard Shaw said, we don't stop playing because we get old because we stop playing. So if you decide to become an octogenarian Picasso, a leader in the chess community, or just the funniest grandpa around, know that it's never too late to discover something new and make your life interesting. Who knows, maybe you'll be handling your new hobby better at 80 than you ever did at work. Isn't that a delightful irony? So go for it. Find your passion and support it. Life is too short to be boring, even if you're 80. Number 4. Social connections. Think of your life as a Wi-Fi network. The more connections, the stronger the signal. And believe me, in your 70s or 80s, you'll want to have the best coverage possible. Older people with strong social connections are like unicorns among ordinary horses. They are rare, special, and best of all, they live longer. Studies show that good social relationships can be as healthy as quitting smoking. Who would have thought that talking to your neighbor could do as much good as quitting cigarettes? But it's not just about living longer, it's about living better. Social connections are vitamins for your brain. They keep you mentally flexible and emotionally stable, as if every conversation is a mini workout for the mind. If you're thinking, but I'm a lone wolf, let me remind you, even wolves live in a pack. Loneliness isn't just boring, it can be dangerous to your health. Some experts believe that loneliness is as harmful as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. What can you do to strengthen your social ties? You don't have to become the soul of the party. Small gestures make a big difference. Call a friend you haven't seen in a while. Join a book club. Or simply say hello to a neighbor. Every interaction matters. And if you're worried that there's nothing to talk about, remember, each of us has a story to tell. Share experiences, memories, and even mistakes. You'll be surprised how much someone can learn from you. Social connections also serve as emotional support during difficult times. Friends and family can be what keeps you afloat. So the next time you want to stay home and watch TV, think twice. This show can wait. And the opportunity to socialize may be just what you need to keep your soul young. Remember, it's not about the number of friends on Facebook. It's about the quality of connections in real life. A good face-to-face conversation is worth more than 1,000 likes. If you want to reach centenary age with a smile on your face, cultivate your connections like plants. Nurture, water, and patiently nurture them. Who knows, maybe the real source of youth is not a magic potion, but laughter with friends, family hugs, and those conversations that last into the night. Number 5. Financial stability. Before we go any further, I want to know, do you like this video? If so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel with your bell activated so you don't miss future episodes. Thank you for your support. Let's continue to learn together and improve our lives. Factor number 5. Financial stability. Imagine this. You're 75 years old, enjoying retirement, and you don't have to worry about whether you'll be able to make ends meet. It sounds like a dream, and unfortunately, for most people, it remains that way. But don't despair. Today we're going to find out how you can become part of this privileged minority. Did you know that, according to a recent study, only 13% of Americans over the age of 60 feel financially secure? That means the other 87% are living with economic uncertainty, like playing Russian roulette with their finances. But what does it really mean to be financially stable at 70 or 80? It's not about having a full bank account. It's about being able to live comfortably without relying on your children or the government to cover basic expenses. It's about being able to afford small pleasures without feeling like you're stealing your grandchildren's future. Don't get me wrong. I'm not suggesting swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, but you should have enough to live a decent life and maybe treat your grandchildren to ice cream once in a while without checking your wallet with a magnifying glass. And what happens if you don't achieve financial stability? In that case, you may find yourself among those who constantly borrow money from their children. Believe me, nothing ruins a family dinner like having to ask for a loan. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork. It's uncomfortable and you're bound to go hungry. But all is not lost. There is hope. Famous investor Warren Buffett once said, "Don't save what's left over after spending. Spend what's left after saving." If you're in your 30s or 40s and you're watching this, congratulations. You have an advantage. Start saving right now, even if just a little bit at a time. It's like planting a tree. The earlier you plant it, the bigger it will grow when you need it. And if you're over 50, don't worry. It's never too late to start. Your tree may be small, but its shade is better than its absence, isn't it? Remember, stability isn't just about money. It's peace of mind, independence, and the chance to enjoy your golden years without the dark cloud of financial woes overhead. It's a chance to say yes to that trip you've been dreaming of, and the chance to not have to live in your oldest child's basement. Number 6. Gratitude. Have you ever considered that gratitude isn't just saying thank you when you're handed salt at dinner? Hold on, because you're about to find out that it's so much more than that. Gratitude is a hidden superpower that we all have, but not everyone knows how to use it. What if I told you that practicing gratitude regularly can make you happier, even more attractive? Well, that last one isn't scientifically proven, but who knows? Imagine your mind is a garden. You can plant it with complaints and negativity, or you can sow seeds of gratitude. Which would you rather harvest? Renowned psychologist Martin Seligman, a pioneer of positive psychology, found that practicing gratitude can increase happiness. So how do you nurture this garden of gratitude? Here are some ideas. 1. Gratitude journal. Every night before you go to bed, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They can be big or small. From "my family loves me" to "I didn't step on gum in the street today." Extra points if you write with a pen with nice ink. 2. Gratitude walk. Take a walk and find 5 beautiful or interesting things. It could be a flower, a funny cloud, or a smiling dog. Bonus if you don't get distracted by your phone. 3. A thank you letter. Write a letter to someone who has positively impacted your life. And better yet, deliver it in person. Prepare for tears and possibly an awkward hug. 4. Jar of happiness. Every time something good happens, write it down on a piece of paper and put it in a jar. On a tough day, pull one out at random and remember that life is full of little joys. 5. The no complaining challenge. Try to go through the day without complaining. Every time you feel the urge to complain, look for something positive in the situation. It's a game where the prize is your happiness. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's so easy to complain about everything bad. And you're right. It's like we have an inner drama queen in our brain. Psychologists call it a negativity bias. But here's the interesting thing. The more you practice gratitude, the easier it becomes. It's like working out at the gym, just for your mindset. It may be hard at first, but over time you'll start noticing the positive faster than ever. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you get up in the morning, think of the precious privilege of being alive, breathing, thinking, enjoying, loving." Imagine starting each day with that thought. It's like coffee for the soul. And if you feel silly because you are grateful for the little things, remember the words of G.K. Chesterton, not because it is better than diamonds, but because it is different from diamonds. So yes, it's okay to be grateful for the tuna sandwich you had for lunch. Gratitude is not ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's finding light even on cloudy days, like a happiness detective looking for clues to the joy in everyday life. So, are you ready to unleash that superpower? Ready to be that annoyingly positive friend that everyone secretly admires? Go ahead, your garden is waiting to be cultivated. And who knows, you might find that life is so much sweeter when viewed through the lens of gratitude. You might even start thanking traffic for giving you more time to listen to your favorite podcast. Number 8. Continuous learning. Have you ever heard the phrase, "You can't teach an old dog new tricks"? Well, it turns out that phrase is as outdated as a disc phone. Today we're going to talk about something that 99% of people between the ages of 70 and 80 don't do, but that you can master. Continuous learning. Imagine that your brain is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it will become weak. But if you keep it in shape, it can even win the mental race against much younger people. I'm not exaggerating. Recent studies have shown that learning new things can slow cognitive decline and even prevent diseases like Alzheimer's. But what does continuous learning really mean? No, you don't have to go to college at age 80. Although if you want to, go for it. It's more about keeping that spark of curiosity alive. Think about everything that has changed in the last few decades. When you were young, you probably never even dreamed of having a computer in your pocket. Right. Now these little devices have practically become an extension of our bodies. And here's the trick. Instead of resisting change, embrace it. You know who does that? Warren Buffett himself. At his age, he continues to learn every day, reading at least 500 pages. He says that knowledge accumulates like interest. So, if you want to get rich with wisdom, you know what to do. But it doesn't all have to be so serious. Why not learn how to use apps that your grandchildren can't stop talking about? You can surprise them by sending a meme or GIF in your next post. Imagine them laughing their asses off. Or better yet, why not learn something completely new? Always wanted to play the guitar but never had the time. What do you think? Now you have all the time in the world. And it's not too late. Famous artist Granny Moses didn't start painting until she was 70 years old. And her paintings sell for millions. Continuous learning not only keeps your mind sharp, but also gives you a new perspective on life, helping you to better understand this changing world. It's like putting on new glasses. Suddenly everything seems clearer and sharper. So the next time someone tells you that you're too old to learn something new, remind them that the brain has no expiration date. It's never too late to become what you could be. and it's never too late to learn what you've always wanted to know. In short, continuous learning is not just a skill, it's a superpower. It keeps you young, connects you to the world, and most importantly, reminds you that life is full of exciting possibilities. So what will you learn today? Number 9. Keeping an open mind. Imagine you've reached old age and you're still looking at the world with eyes of wonder. You're not judging, you're just appreciating every moment, as if it were the best gift. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Well, it turns out that keeping an open mind is like having superpowers in old age. Renowned psychologist Carol Dweck has studied this topic and found that people with a growth mindset, that is, those who believe they can continue to learn and improve regardless of age, tend to be happier and healthier. As they age, it's as if they have a fountain of youth in their heads. But how do you achieve this? It's not as difficult as it seems. Imagine that your mind is like a house with many doors and windows. All the windows close in old ideas, but you can decide to leave them open, letting in fresh air and new perspectives. The Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "As long as I live, I will learn." And he was right. Keeping an open mind is like being on a constant hunt for knowledge. You keep discovering new things every day. And that's the essence of life. Don't think that means you have to agree with everything and everyone. Unbiased is more like the work of a curious detective. You listen, observe, analyze, and then form your own opinion. It's as if you have a supermarket of ideas at your disposal and you decide what to put in your cart. And here's the best part. Keeping an open mind benefits not only you, but everyone around you. Imagine yourself as the cool grandpa or grandma who always has a story to tell, who don't judge their grandchildren for their crazy new ideas, but listen to them with genuine interest. You will be the star of every family celebration. So if you want to be part of those seniors who keep an open mind, start now. Develop your curiosity, embrace new ideas, and above all, never stop learning. Remember, age is just a number, but open-mindedness is a treasure worth its weight in gold. And as the great Albert Einstein said, once you stop learning, you start dying. So keep your mind alive, curious and open. Who knows, maybe at 80 you'll learn how to skateboard or program the next big app. The sky is the limit when your mind is open. Number 10. Harmonious relationships with your children. Have you ever tried to reason with an angry teenager? If so, know that sometimes it's easier than teaching a cat to dance flamenco. Maintaining harmonious relationships with children and grandchildren is the key to happiness in old age. Don't let differences in opinions or lifestyles become a barrier between you and your offspring. Instead, show patience and interest in their lives, even if it seems strange or incomprehensible to you. But what if I told you that there is a way to peacefully communicate with your children, even when you are 70 or 80 years old? Yes, you heard me. Today we are going to learn the art of harmonious communication, a skill that only 10% of seniors possess. Imagine being able to have a conversation with your adult child without turning it into a yelling or door slamming contest. It may sound like science fiction, but I assure you, it is possible. The trick is to actively listen. I'm not talking about just nodding your head while you plan your next response. I'm talking about real listening, as if your child's words are the lyrics to your favorite song. What if your children ignore you or get mad at you and refuse to talk to you? Instead of forcing communication, a wise man can plant a tree in front of his house and silently nurture it. In time, curiosity will overcome the son's anger, and one day he will ask about the tree. Thus begins a new phase of dialogue between father and son. The moral is clear. Communication based on unconditional love can open doors that seemed closed forever. Here's another valuable tip. Practice empathy. Put yourself in your children's shoes. Yes, I know their fancy shoes may seem uncomfortable to you, but try to understand their perspective, their struggles and challenges. They are traveling through a completely different world than you knew at their age. Speaking of different worlds, Did you know that, according to a University of Michigan study, families who have dinner together at least 3 times a week communicate significantly better? So the next time you feel like having a heart-to-heart talk with your child, invite them over for dinner. The way to the heart is often through the stomach. But don't confuse peaceful communication with pleasing. You can maintain your boundaries and express yourself respectfully. The trick is to do this without being judgmental or attacking. Use phrases such as "I think" instead of "you always." For example, instead of saying "you always ignore me," try saying "I feel sad when we don't talk." Remember, peaceful communication is not about winning an argument. It's about building bridges. Sometimes it can take years, but trust me, when you are 80 years old and you can have a good conversation with your 50-year-old son, you will realize that every brick of that communication was worth it. So, if you want to be part of that exclusive club of older people who communicate peacefully with their children, start practicing this right now. Listen more, judge less, and please don't use young people's language. No one wants to hear their grandpa say, "Okay, boomer." Number 10. You practice generosity. When you're a superhero, your superpower isn't flight or superhuman strength, but something much more powerful: the ability to improve the lives of others. It turns out we all have this superpower, we just need to activate it. Generosity can be about much more than just donating money. It's about giving your time, your attention, to help others. It's like planting a tree whose shade you may never enjoy, but which will benefit others in the long run. Psychologist Elizabeth Dunn has found that spending money on others can make us happier than spending it on ourselves. There seems to be a happiness button in our brain that is activated whenever we show generosity. So the next time you're about to buy something you don't really need, ask yourself, can this money make someone happy? It can be good for your heart and your wallet, but generosity isn't just about money. Volunteering, for example, isn't just about dinner. Every hour you spend helping others magically adds time to your life clock. Who needs a source of youth when there's a source of generosity? Psychologist Martin Seligman has shown that people who regularly perform acts of generosity become happy, as if they are exercising their generosity like a muscle. Monks seem so happy, or maybe it's just because they don't have to worry about monthly bills. How can you start practicing generosity today? You don't have to be Bill Gates to make a difference. Start with simple gestures. Smile at a stranger even with a mask on. Your smile is visible in their eyes. Help a neighbor with their shopping, or just listen to a friend without interrupting them or looking at your phone every 2 seconds. Generosity is contagious. Every act of kindness creates a wave that spreads far beyond what you can see. So the next time you're tempted to complain about how bad the world is, ask yourself, what can I do to make it better? Number 11 is to live with purpose. Some people shine even in their golden years, and you're about to discover the ultimate secret to longevity: living with purpose. I'm not talking about thinking only about the flavor of the jelly you're about to eat, but rather having a reason that makes you jump out of bed with enthusiasm. That's living with purpose, and it's like gaining superpowers in old age. But what does it really mean to have a purpose? It's not about saving the world or winning a Nobel Prize, although if you do, invite me to the ceremony. A goal can be as simple as becoming the best grandfather in the world, growing the most beautiful garden in the neighborhood, or perfecting your grandmother's cookie recipe. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps, said that purpose is what keeps us going, even in the most difficult circumstances. How do you find that purpose? Here are some tips. Think about what makes you lose track of time. Think about your skills. What are you good at? Think about how you can help others. Sometimes our purpose is to make someone else's life a little better. Don't worry if you don't immediately find your purpose. It's like reaching for the remote control. Sometimes it's in front of you and you can't see it. Studies have shown that people with a strong sense of purpose have better cardiovascular health, lower risk of dementia, and better sleep. It's like a magic pill, only without the side effects. Remember, It's never too late to find your purpose, even at age 80. You may decide that your mission is to try all flavors of ice cream, because someone has to do it. Living with purpose not only gives you a reason to get up every morning, but it can also extend your life, improve your health, and make you happier. So, what are you waiting for? Go out and find your purpose. Now that you know these valuable practices for a long and meaningful life, which one would you most like to learn or apply? If you've made it to this point, thank you for your attention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this in the future. Share the video with anyone who might find it useful. I also recommend watching this suggested video to continue your study of Stoicism. A big hug, and until next time.